reason why listening is something that it's hard to learn just as a skill when it is about listening to other people is the fact that in order to really listen to someone else, you first have to see that person. You first have to recognize this other person not as a tool to get to an objective that you have in your mind, because you're attached to that objective, because you're identified, your ego, in Sami's term, is identified with achieving a certain result. So to the point that you would see, you're not aware of this, but in reality, you're interacting with other people as if they were just a piece of machinery, tools through which you will reach your objective. Very difficult to hear, to listen authentically. Most of the time, when you're in that frame of mind, you hear what you want to hear, number one. And number two, what happens is that you hear, but you don't empathize. You don't make an effort to see things from the standpoint of the other person. And you only listen so that you can argue then and counter-argue to what you have heard so that you can get to the result that you're really interested in. So first of all, listening is a function in listening as a foundation to then establish a relationship of partnership and collaboration, creating the condition where collaboration can happen. Listening in a way that leads to collaboration requires you as a leader to be able to let go of the idea that this person is just a piece of machinery, a tool to get to your result, a result that you have in mind, to see him as or her as a person. And that's something that happens only through a process of internal change. Now, linked to business results. Guess what happens if you're not able to do that? You don't really listen. And mind you, the other person can feel whether they're listened to or not. We feel it, we perceive it when we are dealing with when my wife doesn't listen to me, even though she's looking at me and maybe smiling to me, I can tell. And likewise, she can tell when I do it, okay? So when someone doesn't feel they're listened to, then the space for collaboration, the space for creativity, the condition whereby you can get the best out of this other person shrinks